Welcome back to the TMNT arcade game on the NES. So yeah, we haven't checked the strategy guide yet, so let's check it. So, original was in December 7, 1990, and December 1990 in America. The Smash arcade hit comes home to the NES with 2-player action and 2 exclusive all-new levels. Can you save April and take down Shredder's army of goons once again?
Maybe.
Alright, so let's check what are the turtle tips that we have for this game in a moment. Okay, 10 lives. Cats have 9 lives, but turtles get 10. On the title screen, enter up, right, right, down, 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 left, 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 B, A, start to begin the game with 10 turtles. Your move, cats. Indeed. Also, stage select. When you go where no turtle has gone before, press down 5 times, right 7 times, B, A, start on the title screen to activate stage select.
Oh wait, why does it say 9 lives there still?
Because the 0 life also counts. But you can also use this other code to activate both cheats at the same time. Truly the meat lover's pizza of codes. Alright, so those are your turtle tips.
Like an army code work with this game.
Splinter speaks. Playing the Japanese versions of the games, my sons, you'll need different codes. And I'll just, yeah. So basically you need, the Japanese version of the game has different codes. So here it is in case you need them.
I'm guessing this was something that Digital Eclipse added because
Yes.
I highly doubt that back in the day,
No.
companies were assuming that people would get the versions of
Oh yes, yes,
overseas.
yes. These are strategy guides that Digital Eclipse made themselves based on how Nintendo Power was. Eclipse tip. See, Eclipse tip. Cheating is more fun with a buddy. For a 2-player game, make sure to hit select before start when inputting any of these codes. So basically telling
Give
you.
it credit. The art style looks like something right out of Nintendo Power
Yeah.
comic.
Yeah, that's the great thing.
Raft rants there. I hate these guys. I don't have a tip here. I just need an event.
That's okay, Ralph. I get it. I get you. No, again, like I said, this is one of the best video game collections ever made, as far as I'm concerned, because there's so much cool stuff and so much effort that they really went above and beyond in providing such a cool package. So yeah. All right, you can also change remap the controls if for whatever reason you need to. I actually did myself for a couple the Game Boy games, but yeah,
Understandable.
but no, the idea is exactly that, to try to replicate the look of the Nintendo Power. Okay, for some reason why am I going through here? Like, Jimmy, just what the fuck am I even doing at this point?
Heck of a tour you're giving us here.
Yes, clearly. All right, let's.
Are you about to do co-op or?
No, no, don't worry. Okay, sorry, I just let the demo. So, what the? Oh yeah, I'm trying out the code. That's
Maybe
it. That's
you're
what.
about to do co-op.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
Or not?
No, sorry, I have no fucking clue what the. Okay, clearly I should have edited that out, and apparently I forgot. Sorry. I think I was trying to demonstrate the code itself. Sorry. Alright, let's do this properly now. Clearly I should have taken a better look at the raw before I put it up on YouTube. Fuck it. Sorry about that.
Oh well.
Yeah, clearly
Sure, we'll get back to the action.
Yeah, this is something that should have been edited out, but it wasn't. Sorry guys.
So let's talk about that pizza food. I mean, what?
That what?
Do you have a Pizza Hut in the UK?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. We're going to the Soho. There it is. We're going to the Soho sewer system now. Let's see.
What?
Soho, one of the
we're
finer
not in-
places of New York City. Ain't that right, Didge?
But
Sure.
Joe, we're not in London.
No, dude. Believe it or not, we have a Soho over in New York City.
I mean, you even bother putting a new at the beginning of it. You just took Soho and that's it.
So
Well,
yeah.
actually, that depends on which of us had it first.
So
Okay,
that.
I'll look into it.
So that you haven't said much. Do you have any kind of familiarity with this game?
No, not really. I haven't really. I never. The only TMNT games I played was the first NES one.
Huh, I'm actually
Yeah.
surprised. I figured a big TMNT fan like you had played a ton of these games at some point.
Well, remember, he's more of a 2003 Turtles fan rather than an 80s Turtles fan.
Also, I didn't really get into emulating that much until recently, so I haven't had the chance.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
The NES game, the second game on Game Boy, which is a family favorite.
Honestly, I love it.
Turtles in Time, obviously.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love it. I love the 2004 series. I'm not too fond of the crossover with the 80s series, which just flanderizes the heck out of the 80s characters.
And then the Nick version is just as bad.
Okay. I will say this. I am not sorry about the 80s versions becoming pretty much the versions that Nickelodeon chooses to rep the series in crossover series. Because if anything, it's vindication for how awesome the cartoon is. And you know what? Yeah, it gives them their just dues.
See-
Like, I get it. The original creator didn't like the 80s series. That did not mean he had to go about and make them arguably worse with those crossovers.
See, the thing is, here's the thing. Let me. I can mention that about being. I grew up with the 80s Turtles. Okay. See, for me, the best way to even represent the Turtles IP would be to maybe even do both. Like I still believe the 2003 incarnations and the 80s incarnations can coexist just fine.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, that's my biggest frustration with the crossover. Just let them coexist. I get that you may not like the 80s show, but that doesn't mean you can't still let the 80s show have its good moments here and there.
Which is funny considering. Actually, I'm surprised that happened. I'm surprised they didn't make like rap jokes about the 80s Splinter or something.
You know what's interesting?
But Pedro and I recently saw both the Nickelodeon crossovers, and like they're both as bad as Turtles Forever.
Okay. It's one of those things
I
where
feel like the 2012 one was a bit less mean-spirited, but
it was.
Let's Pedro.
It was to Jova's credit. Yeah, it wasn't as mean-spirited. It wasn't. It still had clear issues regarding that, but let me put it this way: it's because sometimes they'll even have something be there. Like, for example, they have, was it Raph that said that stupid line that gave away their position? I forgot if it was Raph that said it, or was it Leo? I forgot who it was.
I don't remember, but I just remember Leo was like, "Oh man, using my katanas, I might hurt someone." I'm like, what?
What? The 80s Leo never said something like that. Yeah, basically.
It's like it felt like they felt like parodies. They also did the same thing. No. The funny thing is, they also did the same thing as Turtles Forever, as in, the 80s Turtles. You know, they know how to blend in the shadows and whatnot. When they first come to New York, they just get out, walk into the public, and like, no.
Hell, if you wanted to parody the 80s Turtles, like, just parody the stupidity of the trench coat and fedora hats bits. There you go. That's something that pretty much everybody, no matter how much of a lover of the 80s Turtles you are, everybody already makes fun of that. So
yeah, just say that's stupid. That would never work, and then people actually believe it. It's like, huh?
Yeah,
wish we thought that earlier.
My thing is,
Alright.
Go on.
Alright, Joe, I had a look into it. Soho Manhattan was around in the 70s. Our Soho was in the late 1670s.
Well, there you go.
Oh, okay.
So-
Old and ancient.
You get a
Wait,
Soho,
wait.
and you get a Soho.
Wait, hold on. The
And AEW
1670s?
gets the Soho.
I mean, I recently rewatched Turtles Forever since I have the DVD because for some reason, only the UK DVD release has the uncut version of it, as in it's the full one, like no cuts for adverts or stuff like that.
Let me put it this way. Go on. sorry.
Okay, since I have absolutely no connection to the 80s show aside from like, I don't know, watching the title sequence for 5 seconds before I flipped over to another channel, I enjoyed it still okay. I mean, it's not the best thing I've seen from the
Sure.
the series, but
Let me put it like this: it arguably has a good story. No, the problem is the crossover aspect, and well, again, when the point of
so
the crossover is the crossover, yeah, there's a problem.
So basically, it's got the exact opposite problems of the Ace Attorney Leighton crossover, where the crossover bit is the best part, but the story kind of takes I won't say backseat necessarily, but that has a lot of issues.
Okay.
It's not even like the story of the crossover is bad all the way through. It's that ending.
Tonight
Oh, hey,
I
April.
dine on turtle soup.
As I tie up April O'Neil, I swear
Scene
this
free.
is not a kink.
Scene free. Let's melt snow and rebuild New York City. What?
Wait.
Wait,
hang on. New York City was broken, but it looks just fine in the background. Dad, what happened?
Well, you see, it was since it was the '80s, Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, true.
Damn.
Actually, guys, I know why it's broken. Like, it was literally destroyed, and whoever tried to rebuild it did a pretty terrible job. They just copied and pasted bits of the city and stuck it right next to each other.
Remember what the American release of the '80s arcade game said was winners don't use drugs. But hello.
God, that brings me back to the All Stars to the Rescue bit.
Your brain must be like really messed up.
I swear, how can you get such an awesome crossover and yet waste it on such a lame project?
Because blame George Bush. I don't know.
But hey, we literally got Bugs Bunny mentioning a joint.
So it has that going for it at least.
Yeah, Alvin and the Chipmunks mentioning marijuana.
Yeah, so yeah, it does have that going for it, that surreal aspect to it at least, I guess. But to go back to my thing, no, see, here's the thing. Yeah, it's exactly like Joven that you were saying. Like, for example, see, one of the it was interesting because I actually did watch a couple 80s episodes with Dej. Like, for example, remember that joke in Turtles Forever where they joke about how the 80s turtle blimp is slow as fuck, even though it isn't? And then I actually showed Dej an episode where they used the blimp, and they even have the blimp go really fast when they needed to. And I even made a comment of, see, Peter, the turtle blimp can go fast. And
Okay.
Twist, before you go on. There is one other problem with the crossover. Even the 2003 Turtles were also flanderized as well.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, they also did the joke in that bit where they said, "Oh, it can go faster, but we don't recommend it." And they go faster, and well, it goes faster, and and 03 Mikey ends up being the butt of the joke for that one.
I get that, but like that's never been the whole it's best not to go fast on the blimp thing. That's never been I don't even know where they got that from.
I think that's more so the 80s one just having a joke at the 2003 Turtles expense.
Okay, here's the main problem with the first crossover. It is clearly made from a place of hatred for the 80s show, courtesy of Laird.
Peter Laird.
Let's be honest, he made it no secret he despised the 80s cartoon.
Yeah, he did.
Although, funnily enough, not as much as he despises Venus de Milo.
What now?
That the new turtle they created for Next Mutation.
Oh,
And they brought her back in the IDW comic.
Well, hopefully she's better in the IDW comic.
Wait, was that Peter Laird or was that another guy?
Kevin Eastman is involved with the IDW comic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, Dej, is she better in the comic?
I haven't asked. I'll have to ask Zachio.
Speaking of Kevin Eastman actually drew the art for the box of this collection.
Oh, looks nice.
He actually was even interviewed about it and everything, because unlike Peter Laird, Kevin Eastman is okay with the 80s cartoon, so...
I think it's good, although Raph and Leo look cross-eyed in it.
Oh, no. Oh, you're talking about... No, this is the original cover art of the original NES game. This wasn't drawn by Kevin Eastman. I'm talking about the cover art for the Cowabunga collection, not the original game that we're playing right now.
Oh, the Cowabunga collection. I thought you were talking about this thing that we're looking at.
This art looks like it's from the Archie comics.
Mm-hmm. The box,
Right, they had Archie comics.
No, Digital Eclipse actually did contact Kevin Eastman to draw the box art. Oh, there you go. There's Tora the Polar Beast. From which Turtles media is this guy from? I don't know.
I forget if he was just made for this game, possibly.
More than likely.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that's the Turtles media. He's from this game.
I guess. I mean, if as far as I'm aware, he's never shown up before or since. So
I'm pretty sure, in regards to TMNT, more people are gonna remember the Mr. Freeze polar bear rather than this guy. Also, yeah, that happened.
his first appearance was this game.
Did he appear in anything else afterwards?
Okay, I'll be honest. Okay, you mentioned the 80s Turtles because that's another point. Funnily enough. Okay, you know how sometimes franchises can get a bit too reliant on one particular incarnation of it?
yes.
Transformers with G1, Mortal Kombat with the original trilogy.
Yeah, I'm thinking from what I'm seeing, this series is seemingly suffering from that same problem. It seems to be like, it's mostly just styling things after the 80s Turtles and almost nothing else.
Yeah.
Not really.
To some extent.
So that's what was wrong with the city. It was apparently frozen.
Spring is here.
I did say almost.
Guys, spring has come to New York City.
Woo! I mean, okay, honestly,
They have referenced. Obviously, they won't reference. They won't reference the Next Mutation because A, they don't own it, and B, well, no one likes it. And they have referenced the 2003 show on like their social media, like releasing clips of it. But that's from what I can tell, that's really all it extends to. There hasn't been a crossover that's involved anything other than the 80s Turtles. Well,
If it helps you, Dwib. If it helps you, Dwibs, on the Turtles lair, as in the extra section of this collection, there's a clip put in quite a lot of art and screenshots from all of the cartoons, the 2003 one, the 2012 one, and the recent one, Rise.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I own the game on Xbox, and
Aside from the 80s characters maybe being the reps and crossovers, I don't get the sense that they're over-relying on the 80s stuff. It's just that, a lot of the stuff that they've released happens to coincide with the 80s stuff. For example, the Cowabunga collection, the games kind of...
Hold on, that Joe
Shredder's Revenge kind of made... Thank you. Again, the Cowabunga collection, of course it ties into the 80s, that's when the games were released, so that makes sense. Shredder's Revenge made sense as a synergy release along with them showing up in the crossovers, so that's fine and fair. That said, we still have had stuff like Rise, the 2012 series, and whatnot. Again, I wouldn't say we're to a point where, they're just heavily relying on the 80s stuff. I mean, granted, the 80s stuff is the classic stuff that they will come back to for a lot of reasons here and there.
You mentioned the other shows. That's another example I could bring up. Actually, it's like with Power Rangers. Even though the series has had a load of different theme tunes over the years, lately they just taken to just remixing the 80s one over and over.
You say lately? That's been that's been a thing since 2010.
Even more so, again, just like around the same time, Power Rangers was just remixing Coco Power Rangers and nothing else.
No, yeah, that's what I mean, the Neo Saban era.
Sure.
What the heck?
Well, to be fair, Deji Hasbro's been doing that too.
Hold on, seems like Jova wants to bring something up. Yes, Jova?
It was weird how the car sprite animation just seemed like it was zooming frame by frame and hit you there.
Yeah, the car is supposed to drive and hit you. This is something that also happens in Shredder's Revenge as a throwback to this. There's a lot. Shredder's Revenge has a lot of neat little callbacks to various individual games. Like, for example, one thing that I'm guessing you'll probably appreciate is when you pick you know how basically in Shredder's Revenge you can give out some, if one of your co-op partners does fall, you can give him a pizza to revive him, basically. And if
That's nice.
And if you do it as April, guess what she says? You have my support.
Okay, that is nice.
Oh no, trust me. Like Shredder's Revenge is a treasure trove of Turtles fan service. Like there's so many neat little in jokes that only older fans who have played these older games will get.
Which I do think ties into why Shredder's Revenge was based off of the 80s stuff, since it seems like it was kind of a pseudo-sequel to these games and whatnot, and given how, again, that was very much a throwback game, it makes sense. As for the other series, I mean, okay, granted, I do wonder, it may also be about where later teams just don't have the rights to some of those specific series.
Okay, so I can understand the 2012 show having. Initially, they were doing their own thing, but as it went on, they started referencing more and more of the 80s stuff, and that's because the 2003 show was basically banned from using that stuff. And people who worked on the 2012 show were the ones who grew up with the 80s cartoon.
Let me put it like this. When it comes to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I get why we get the 80s stuff, you know? I wouldn't call it an over-reliance or leaning on it. It's kind of like, ironically, as much as Laird may hate it, the 80s series is kind of the mascot of the whole outfit here and there. Now, don't get me wrong, we'll still get new iterations, new things that do here and there, but the 80s series will be that timeless venture that they can always go back to. Because the thing is, a lot of the other series kind of have either, again, the whole copyright issues thing, which can really muck with things, or just a sense of finality that kind of is like, there's not really a place to be had there. Not to be
you could say the same thing with the 80s show, since it did have a finality as well.
Yep.
True, yeah. My point is like, well, the 80s series kind of does have a bit more of an openness in that regard. Granted, this is just part of my theory as to why they go back to it. Granted, it's probably more likely just rights issues and stuff. Like, I don't know.
Is the 2003 show under copyright?
Yeah, I can explain that actually. Yes, the Nickelodeon do own the 2003 show. They basically when they sold Mirage Comics, well, the Turtles, and that's the Nickelodeon. The 03 rights came with it.
Oh, looks like the Turtles are getting some Princess Peach action, if you know what I mean. Just on the forehead.
Yeah,
April, they're teenagers.
Reminds me.
And they're turtles.
More importantly, they're teenagers. You're gonna go to jail.
Speaking of that, Joe, but well, sometimes as we're going back to the Coming Out of Our Shells tour, one of the most bizarre lines in that is when Raph says, "Oh, I was just sitting here banging on sewer pipes," and like the crossover review with AVGN and the Subject Critic said back in the day, "Whoa, like I don't know what the hell he's talking about banging on pipes," and I love the joke they make like, "Oh well, you got to get our sexual aggression somehow. I mean, we're surrounded with nothing but a woman who we can't touch because we're fucking turtles. So make do with what you got."
Yeah, we're horny and a half.
Half shell, exactly. So, yeah. No. Like I said, like I'm actually. Oh, that reminds me. Actually, I just posted it up. There you go. Like basically, everybody go to Google Images, Google Comic Collection Kevin Eastman. It should show up at some point, somewhere in there. There you go. That's the artwork that Kevin Eastman made for the limited edition.
Being said, yes, the Coming Out of Our Shells tour was terrible. That being said, it's still much better than We Wish You a Turtle Christmas, which me and Pedro also watched together.
Yeah.
Really? Wait. There's something that people find worse than Coming Out of Our Shells?
Jova, let me
aside from Next Mutation?
Yeah, basically, Jova, imagine, okay, you know the problems Coming Out of Our Shells tour had? Well, take those, cut the length down to like half an hour, but amplify those flaws still by like 1,000.
Let me put it this way, Jova, in a way that you'll understand. The animatronics in Turtle Christmas make Turtles 3 look like Jim Henson Company.
No.
Yes.
No way.
terrible.
It's that bad. It really is.
I can't even imagine making those monstrosities look good.
Well,
by
or
comparison.
actually, here, here's an even better joke in my opinion. Like, here, how about this? Total Christmas animatronics make Chuck E. Cheese seem like the Jim Henson Company. There you go.
Ooh. Damn.
That's how bad we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
Turtles 3 is a bad movie.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is.
Not to mention, the songs in that one they're even worse than the Coming Out of Our Shells tour one. They're just really the best they get is just really generic, and the worst is just like.
Not to mention, Total Christmas has by far the worst Splinter ever. Like.
I mean, they're only like 2 steps away from having a guy just show up wearing rat ears, and otherwise he's just his normal human self.
Yeah.
How funny is it that we have not yet gotten to commentating on those movies yet in the...
Don't worry, Jova. I will eventually get picked that as a Christmas commentary, but not for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw out a hot take. The best Turtles movie is the Batman crossover.
I haven't seen that one.
You know what? You might be onto something.
Oh yeah, it is a great movie. I don't particularly care for
will
how
say
they
this,
write
though.
Mikey, but aside from that, it's a good movie. Yeah.
We'll say this though. What's taking so long on that sequel? Because I know that was a very much a sequel hook, and like the comic itself got sequels.
Well,
Yeah, and there was a crossover between the 2012 show and the animated series.
Okay, Jova, I can actually pinpoint that possibly, I can guess 2 reasons, one for each side. One, Paramount keep going under restructuring every 5 minutes, so maybe they just
What
can't
is up
keep
with that?
And 2, for the other side, Zaslav.
Yeah. So okay. First of all, before I talk about the Christmas Splinter, like I said, limited edition Comic Collection, Kevin Eastman art. That looks fucking glorious. So that's awesome. Second, there you go, Jova. That's how Splinter looks like. Again, everybody in the audience, Google Images is your friend. That's how Splinter looks in Turtle Christmas.
He looks like either a guy in a cheap costume at best or nightmare fuel at its absolute worst, and not in a good way.
Mm-hmm. It's
That said, though,
or even better, the Shredder from Coming Out of Our Shells too, which looks like he got his costume from Walmart. Like,
Like he was pieced it together. A bunch of...
Alright, Jova, hear me out. The 80s Turtles crossover with Adam West Batman.
yeah. See, the thing about
Oh,
no, definitely.
You know what?
That would be fun.
what? That could work. That could very much work.
Definitely. Like I said, no. Like Deji said, yes. Batman and the Batman crossover with the Turtles is great. The only issue I have is I don't like the way they write Mikey. Because me and Deji actually talked about this. The problem with when writers write Mikey is that they a lot of times don't understand that Mikey is not stupid. He is absent-minded and sometimes a bit simple-minded. And yes, sometimes he has maybe some kind of like he lets himself get carried away, but he is not stupid. And my problem with the way
they made him stupid. They just made him like Poe.
Like what?
Poe.
Like, oh.
From Teletubbies.
No,
Oh,
from Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, because round here in Britain, we know 2 types of Poe. The one from Kung Fu Panda, yes, but more so the Poe from Teletubbies.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Poe, Ditch, have you seen the new Kung Fu Panda movie on Netflix?
Nope.
Wait, there's a new movie on
That was a
Netflix?
TV show.
I think it might be a movie. When I browsed it on Netflix, I don't recall there being episodes on it, but maybe it is a show.
Well, we know that the 4th one is coming, so that would be the proper 4th movie. So
Like, just make
Oh,
it a
yeah,
tournament
yeah.
arc, please.
Yeah, like, it's noticeably not on the same level as the previous movies, but I don't recall. I could have sworn that it was a movie, though. Let me check right now, actually.
sure.
Also, someone has pointed this out, and it didn't daunt me. How come the Turtles never crossed over with Spider-Man?
Disney.
Yeah.
Even before that.
Marvel.
I don't. Yeah, I guess technically it would be a really cool thing. Well, who knows, Daju? I mean, it might still happen eventually.
I mean, hey, Spider-Man's had a crossover with Batman.
I mean,
Not anymore.
if Nickelodeon and Paramount, Paramount, last I checked, Paramount and Disney don't seem to have any kind of grudge between each other, so it shouldn't be too hard to get that shit done. Come on, let's bust this joint.
Wait. Wow. We're talking about joints in the video games now, not just the cartoon All Stars to the Rescue crossover.
Fortunately, by joint they mean this place.
Yeah, not the okay. Yeah, join us next time when the turtles get high on weed.
What's this? A joint? All right, see you everybody.
See ya.